But whether or not VR will be a success isn't just down to the tech. What you can watch and experience will be almost as important.
This is a titanosaur. If I was on an ordinary television program, I'd say that it was about 40 meters long, which is as long as 3 double-decker buses in line, and that it could reach up to the top of a 5-story building. We can see for ourselves. Shall we?
We may be the first lot crazy enough to make a whole show in 360, but there's certainly other people out there making really interesting individual 360 stories. A titanosaur was brought back to life in this recent documentary short by the BBC. A great example of how VR can immerse you in an experience that would be otherwise impossible. It can also transport you right to the middle of the action like no other medium can. It can even let you meet people and see things that you otherwise never would.
My name's Bione Sam, and I'm an urban beekeeper.
The idea of viewing programs in 360 degrees may be a new idea, but a player looking all around themselves in a video game is not. But here is what we think is another first. A video game preview in 360. So, while we've been warping space, Mark Chislak is about to warp time.
This is a preview of a game unlike any that you've seen before. It's in 360 degrees. It's for a title which supports virtuality headsets, but I suspect most people will play it on a PC or Mac just looking at their normal screen. The premise behind Superhot is the faster you move, the faster time moves in the game. The player is dropped into a variety of perilous scenarios. The environments like this are stark and drained of all colour. The opponents are faceless crimson enemies, like this fella. The player punches and shoots, and by moving really, really slowly, they can avoid the deadly accurate shots of the bitmapped bad guys. It's a really, really difficult game. If you hit once, that's it. It's game over. Practice reveals that it's often necessary to chain attacks to gain the upper hand over the enemies. You have to throw an object at them, grab their weapon, and then turn it against their crystalline colleagues. One of the easiest ways of describing it is perhaps like a game designed by the movie director Christopher Nolan at his most inception. This isn't so much of a shoot 'em up, it's more of a slow 'em up. Tactical problems that are generated by the temporal tricksiness of the title become combat puzzles which are solved by repeated trial and error and almost endless restarts until you manage to get to the end of a level and you're greeted with the words, "Super hot."